Number 1. Deshaun Jackson's premature celebration, the touchdown that wasn't. It's 2008. Eagles versus Cowboys on Monday Night Football. The stage is massive. Deshaun Jackson, a rookie with world-class speed, blows past the defense. The crowd rises, the cameras zoom in. He's about to score his first career touchdown under the primetime lights. And then, out of nowhere, he lets go of the ball. At the 1-yard line, he flips it behind him like he's done this 1,000 times, except this time, he hadn't finished the job. The ball bounces into the end zone, untouched, live. No touchdown, no celebration.
Watches very closely. He has secured the football. Whoa.
Just silence and disbelief. The refs wave it off. The commentators lose their minds, and coaches across America are screaming at their TVs. To make it worse, Jackson had done the exact same thing once in college.
Kind of reminds me of Jackson celebrating early in the 2005 U.S. All-American Bowl in high school. A few steps away from the score, somersaults at the 5 and loses it. That was Deshaun Jackson in high school.
History repeated itself, only now in front of millions. Philly scored on the next play, but the damage was done. That clip became legend, a highlight and a warning all in one. Deshaun Jackson had the speed, the swagger, and the spotlight. He just forgot the finish line. Number 2, Leon lets Thanksgiving blunder. The snow game disaster. It's Thanksgiving 1993. Dallas versus Miami playing across the holiday nationwide. The field looks like a snow globe. Whiteout conditions, freezing wind, and a nation watching. The Cowboys just blocked Miami's game-winning field goal. Game over. All they have to do is nothing. But then, here comes Leon Lett. The 300-pound defensive lineman charges toward the ball, slips and dives headfirst into history.
To it 97.
Jimmy Jones.
Now someone touches the football here. Watch what happens. It's Leon Lett. No!
The ball skids across the ice. Miami recovers, and one play later, they drill the winner. The stadium goes silent. On the sideline, Jimmy Johnson's face says everything. Shock, fury, disbelief. Lett trudges off the field, snow caked to his helmet, realizing he just turned victory into one of the most iconic blunders ever televised. Dallas would go on to win the Super Bowl that year. But this is the play everyone remembers. From then on, every teammate had the same message whenever a ball hit the turf. Don't touch it, Leon. Number 3, Dan Orlovsky's safety stroll. The play that defined 0 to 16. Back in 2008, the Detroit Lions are 0-12. Desperate, hopeless, and drowning in losses. Quarterback Dan Orlovsky drops back into his own end zone, looking for a miracle. The defense closes in, the pocket collapses, and instead of throwing it away, he takes off to escape. But something's wrong. He's running, and still running.
3rd and 10. Here comes Jared Allen, and he's out of bounds. Poor guy, I don't even know if he realized it.
The crowd starts to murmur. The sideline erupts. And then, the whistle. He never realized he'd stepped clean out of the back of the end zone. Safety. You can see it hit him immediately.
Listen, I mean, being on the 1-yard line, having to throw it to your end zone 3 times in a row.
Played much in his 4 years here, 3 years in Detroit, to throw a better ball backed up.
The blank stare, the slow jog back to the huddle. That silent, did that really just happen? Look. It became the defining image of Detroit's 0 to 16 season. One man lost in his own end zone. Years later, Orlovsky owned it. He tweeted, "Yes, I ran out of the end zone like an idiot." It was honest, funny, and exactly why fans still love him. Because on a team that couldn't get anything right, he gave us the perfect metaphor, running in the wrong direction and smiling anyway. Number 4, Antonio Brown's flying kick. Travel to Pittsburgh in the year 2014. The Steelers are rolling, the crowd's roaring, and Antonio Brown fields a punt with open turf in front of him. He cuts left, bursts through traffic, and there it is. Nothing between him and the end zone except one lonely defender, the punter. This is where most returners juke, sidestep, maybe stiff arm. Brown, he goes full action movie. He launches himself like a martial arts stuntman and drop kicks the poor guy square in the face mask.
Brown splits special teamers, and now Brown is off to the races. Hurdles, kicks a man.
Cleats up. Contact, chaos. The crowd loses it. The punter crumples. Yellow flags rain from every direction. Brown lands, half proud, half confused, like he just unlocked a hidden move in Madden. After the game, he grinned and said, "I tried to jump over him. I just missed." Sure, Antonio, you missed. And you hit a highlight that's part athletic genius, part cartoon physics. Every year it resurfaces online because it's everything we love about football. Speed, confidence, and the one moment you realize the line between hero and meme is about 2 inches off the ground. Number 5, Colts fake punt disaster, the play that broke the internet. Colts versus Patriots back in 2015, and Indianapolis is desperate. 4th down. Chuck Pagano calls for something bold, something unexpected. What they get is pure madness. The Colts break the huddle and scatter. The entire offensive line and receivers sprint toward the sideline, leaving just 2 players in the middle of the field. One to snap, one standing behind him. Everyone watching thinks the same thing. There's no way they're actually going to snap this, right? The Patriots don't even flinch. They just stare, confused but ready. And then they snap it. The ball's hiked. The poor up back gets swallowed by a wall of defenders within half a second. Turnover on downs.
I mean, you got a guy on either side of him. What are you doing here? I mean, they don't even try to run a play.
The crowd groans, the announcers stutter, and social media explodes. Analysts called it the worst play design in NFL history. Pagano called it a miscommunication. Either way, it was a masterpiece of disaster. A play so bad it made Bill Belichick smile. And if your mistake makes Belichick happy, you know you've just made history for all the wrong reasons. Number 6, Jim Marshall's wrong way run, the touchdown that scored for the other team. Go back, way back, to 1964. Vikings versus 49ers, and the ball pops loose on a fumble. Defensive end. Jim Marshall scoops it up, tucks it under his arm, and takes off like a man possessed. The crowd erupts. 66 yards of pure adrenaline. But something's off. The cheers sound wrong. The sideline's yelling, but he doesn't hear them. He's too locked in. The end zone is in sight, and he dives across it like a hero.
First down, loses the football. It's picked up by Jim Marshall, who's running the wrong way. Marshall is running the wrong way.
Then reality hits. It was the wrong end zone. Marshall had just sprinted the length of the field and scored 2 points for the other team. Teammates tried to chase him down. One even waved frantically as if to stop time itself. But Marshall never looked back. He jogged off, chest out, completely unaware of what he'd done. Decades later, he still laughed about it, telling stories, owning it, even signing autographs that read, "Wrong way, Marshall." It's one of football's greatest blunders, and maybe its most human moment, a reminder that sometimes the only way forward is backward. Number 7, Mark Sanchez and the butt fumble, the play that defined a franchise. Another Thanksgiving night where memories are made, this time 2012. Jets versus Patriots, national TV. Millions watching. The play call couldn't be simpler. A routine dive up the middle. Mark Sanchez takes the snap, looks up, and finds nothing. Panic sets in. He tries to scramble, to salvage something, anything, then impact. He runs full speed into the backside of his own lineman, Brandon Moore. The ball explodes out like a cannon shot. New England scoops it up and takes it to the house. Silence, then laughter, then disbelief. It's so bizarre, so perfectly disastrous, it gets its own name. The butt fumble. ESPN's Not Top 10 list made it number 1 for 40 straight weeks, almost a full year. For Jets fans, it became more than a blooper. It was a symbol of chaos, of futility, of a team that couldn't get out of its own way. To his credit, Sanchez laughs about it now. But in that moment, you could see it on his face, the look of a man realizing his career had just turned into a punchline. Number 8, Key Walker's double ejection. The moment that broke Packers fans. Late in the 2022 season, the Packers were fighting for their playoff lives. Every snap mattered. Every mistake could end the year. Then came Key Walker. During a heated game against Detroit, Walker shoved a Lions staffer on the sideline, a non-player, and got ejected. The Packers lost. Embarrassing? Sure, but it was supposed to be a one-time meltdown. Except it wasn't. Weeks later, in a prime-time must-win game, it happened again. This time, a trainer had rushed onto the field to help an injured player. Walker, frustrated, emotional, not thinking, shoved him too.
And he didn't do anything except trying to wedge his way in there.
The flags flew instantly, ejected. Again. The crowd went silent. The camera caught Walker in tears as he walked to the tunnel, realizing what he'd done. Again. The Packers' playoff hopes died that night. Afterward, Walker apologized on social media, calling it selfish and stupid. But once is a mistake, twice is a pattern. And in a league built on discipline, Key Walker became a lesson that no amount of talent can save you if you can't keep your composure. Number 9, Dallas Cowboys playoff meltdown, the play that made no sense. In the divisional round of 2022, the Cowboys versus 49ers. Final seconds, season on the line. The clock's bleeding out, and Dallas needs a miracle. One shot to keep their Super Bowl dreams alive. Then they line up, and everyone watching goes silent. Ezekiel Elliott, their star running back, is snapping the ball. No offensive line. Receivers spread wide. The formation looks like something drawn on a napkin. The snap comes. Dak Prescott catches it clean, throws short over the middle, and the receiver is flattened instantly.
The last play, Cowboys needed a miracle. Didn't have it on this day.
No laterals, no magic, no chance. The clock hits 0. Game over. The players stand frozen. Dak looks for a flag that's never coming, and the stadium sinks into stunned silence. Even the 49ers looked confused. Like, was that really the play? For a franchise that always promises greatness, it was poetic irony. The Cowboys didn't go down swinging. They went down experimenting. A masterclass in overthinking, perfectly captured on national television. Number 10, the butt punt when physics gave up. Remember the Dolphins versus Bills in 2022? Fourth quarter, Miami's backed up against its own goal line, hanging onto a slim lead. The punter lines up. Barely 10 yards of space, end zone wall behind him, defenders closing in. The snap comes, the kick goes up, and immediately down, straight into the backside of his own blocker. The sound is unmistakable, a thud that echoes through the stadium, and the ball rockets back out of bounds for a safety. The crowd gasps, the sideline freezes, and in slow motion, you can see the imprint of the football stamped on the poor man's jersey like a signature.
I don't know, this is risky. And it was blocked. Oh my goodness!
The punter just stands there, arms out, eyes wide. The living embodiment of what just happened. Miami somehow won that game, but nobody remembers the score. They remember the butt punt. Because once again, football reminded us that brilliance and disaster live 1 inch apart, sometimes separated only by a teammate's backside. Every season, the NFL delivers impossible plays, jaw-dropping catches, and moments of pure genius. But for every miracle, there's a mistake like these. Captured forever, replayed endlessly, and reminding us that even the pros have their blooper reels. If you want more stories of NFL greatness and collapse, hit subscribe, drop a like, and stick around. The next chapter of football history is already waiting.